Hi, I'm Nadia Kingsley, and I run a small publishing house called Fair Acre Press in Shropshire in the UK. I'd like to tell you about a book that I published. It's actually not just a book, it is the first book I ever published, which is called Shropshire Butterflies, a poetic and artistic guide to the butterflies of Shropshire. And it's an anthology. I did a call out and received poems and artwork from people from all over the country, and also asked people to ask specialists to write a piece of prose about the different habitats that butterflies inhabit in Shropshire. So I'd like to, I do still have about 6 copies of this, and they are only available from the Fair Acre Press website, though I think you can find them secondhand as well in some places where people have let them go. And I would like to read a few poems from it. This one is called Viewpoint. Nettles sting and fill a garden with dilapidation. Dandelions ruin a lawn, and each clock is its own time bomb. Thistles scratch bare feet, grow very tall, and their roots run so deep they're hard to weed. Ragwort kills horses, sheep, and cattle, and gives humans a rash when it comes to disposal. But in a warm, sheltered site, you may see comma peacock or small tortoise shell alight, lay egg on nettle and then take flight. In early spring, when these butterflies awake, they need nectar fast, find little in imported plants. So imagine their delight when they find a dandelion. Later, goldfinches neatly shred seeds from thistle, but before that, butterflies gather with bees and feed on their flowers. Ragwort is covered with all kinds of bugs. They're the sole provider for cinnabar moths, give their nectar freely to many others who pollinate even our crops. And let's see. Oh, this is one of my, I love this one. It's called Common Blue. For Olive. Your second summer, eyes wide with wondering, feet eager for adventure, a string of endless questions on your lips. You danced with butterflies, common blues, blue as the summer sky, bright as your smile. Blue, you said, blue butterflies, as you watched them fly and settle on the wild thyme on the hill. Later, we saw hydrangeas, huge heads heavy with blooms. Look, you cried, a bunch of butterflies. And I've got to read this one to you because this is really why I publish books. It's by the wonderful poet Gillian Clark, who was the National Poet Laureate of Wales, and so much more. Giving, generous woman. I had the idea of making this little book. I'd never done any publishing in my life before, but you know, I wanted to give it a go. Then I went along to a reading of hers at Wenlock Poetry Festival with 2 good friends, and she read this particular poem out, and the sides of my waist got bruised by the two friends' elbows going into me like this. And they say, you've got to ask for her poem for your book. You've got to ask her. And I was like, it's just a little book. You can't ask the great Gillian Clarke. They're like, you got to. So I queued up afterwards, and I was trying to say what I was, trying to get it out. She said, go on, tell me what you want. And I said, well, I was just wondering if I could use I could have your poem in my book. The book is, all the profits went to butterfly conservation charity to protect butterflies and moths in Britain, in the UK. And she said, oh yes, anything for those lovely little creatures. And she said, I think I've got a copy here. Pulled it out of her bag, and she said, would you like me to sign it? Absolutely amazing. And so suddenly this little project of mine that I was really feeling very insecure about, suddenly, well, it grew wings. And I have been in Gillian Clarke's debt ever since, because she gave me the confidence, the gall, I don't know what it is, to aim high and ask people. People can only say no. And yeah, so thank you, Gillian. I know I'm not the only person who is indebted to you. You have been such a generous spirit all your life, and a wonderful poet. Thank you. And so this is about the butterfly called Painted Lady, which flies in from Africa every year. And just occasionally there's an invasion of them. They call it an invasion. We're just very lucky. We get a lot more of them some years. And it's called A Wind from Africa. Was it reading the butterfly book in the garden, reciting the ordinary poetry of the field, the lovely litany of Lepidoptera, gatekeeper, meadow brown, small heath, orange tip, ringlet, marsh fritillary? Was it a flick of the Gulf Stream's tail, the must of lion breath, that southern wind that brings swallows and veils of red Saharan dust, that made the beech tree suddenly wake singing, flamboyant with uncountable flickering rings and the almost silent whispering of wings? The tree, dizzy with dancers, manifold, orange, amber, umber, marigold, desert reds, trembling Moroccan gold. Painted ladies on a great odyssey from Africa, delicate wings on the wind, moving in clouds over continents and seas. All summer they lingered, feeding. For all we knew on burdock and the thistles from our fields, sipping rain, nectar, honeydew. They live to breed, be beautiful, and die. All winter, ghost butterflies in the tree, and snow like white wings falling from the sky. Caroline Duffy said about my first book, this is one of the most delightful green poetry projects I have heard of in recent years. And so that's it for now. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks. Bye.